What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Television, and we are back and we're talking about that boy Shakur Stevenson. Shout out to him. He did a great job. Got his title, WBO champion at 126 pounds. And he's progressing his career. So salute to him. Hopefully he stays focused and sky's the limit to what he's capable of doing. Now, Bob Arum came out and made a statement saying that this kid is gonna surpass Floyd Mayweather in all his accomplishments. And what do I think about that? Number one, I think people should stop attaching these guys to the greats and let them progress and let's just enjoy their careers as it goes and let's see where they end up. That's what I believe. I don't like people comparing anyone to, don't compare people to Muhammad Ali. Don't compare people to Floyd Mayweather. Don't compare anybody to Andre Ward. Just let them progress, and over the time, after they've done something like, let's take 10 years in, 6, 8, then you can start saying, yo, this dude's on that level of this dude's on the level of that. Then you can kind of start, talking about them in the same breath as these greats. But at this early state, no. And what I always say when it comes to Floyd Mayweather, people compare him to other people. Take Floyd Mayweather at 21 years old. Take Shakur at 21 years old. Go look at the videos. Just go look at Floyd Mayweather and see what he was capable of doing at that age, and see what he was doing against people at that age. No disrespect, but there's no comparison. But it doesn't mean that this guy can't be great. You know what I'm saying? If he stays focused, he will be great. If he stays focused, keeps handling his business, this is a future Hall of Famer that we're seeing in front of us. He has the skills. As long as he can stay mentally focused, keep handling his business, he can absolutely reach high heights. But this is the thing: if you're saying that he's gonna reach the heights of Floyd Mayweather, that's a bad thing for you. That's a bad thing for you. Because in order for him to do that, it means he needs to leave you. He has to get out of Dodge. He needs to separate himself from Top Rank and Bob Arum in order to do so. Because you had Floyd Mayweather for over a decade and did absolutely nothing with him. Until Floyd Mayweather got to the point where it's like, all right, I need to get out. You know what I'm saying? I need to move on. And he paid the money that was necessary to get him out of that contract. And after that, that's when he had most of the success that he had in his life and in his career. It was after he left. If he had stayed at Top Rank, he never would have reached those heights. He never would have progressed to the levels that he went to. So by you saying that, you're basically saying that, hey, he won't be staying with us. He won't be staying with Top Rank. He'll be moving on. Because we saw what you did with Floyd Mayweather. Absolutely nothing. Forget Floyd Mayweather. We're seeing what you're doing with Terence Crawford right now. Terence Crawford is somebody that should be on a whole different level than he is right now. You take Terence Crawford, the same exact guy, same attitude, same everything. You take him and you put him on Fox, you put him on PBC, you put him under Al Heyman, he'd be on a completely different level than he is right now. Period. Look at where Earl Spence is right now, and look at what Earl Spence is doing right now. Look at the progression they made with him. Look at the progression they made with Wilder, where he's at right now. Look at where he's at right now. Terence Crawford, there's no reason for him to be where he's at right now. At all. This guy should be a star. He should be right there with Earl Spence. But he doesn't get the promotion that's necessary. He doesn't get the push that's necessary. And they know how to do it because we see how they're pushing Lomachenko. We see how they're trying to push Tyson Fury. And we see what ESPN does with the UFC and how they push with the UFC. So it's not like they don't know how to do it. They're just choosing not to at all. So, what's going to be different with Shakur Stevenson? We've seen how they treated Reagan Yao. We see how they're treating Terence Crawford. And Shakur Stevenson will be treated the same way. There's not going to be any difference. So if he's supposedly going to reach all these heights and do all these things, that means he'll be leaving Top Rank. And do I believe that he'll leave Top Rank? Absolutely, I believe he'll leave Top Rank. He's already talked about, they probably had a little talk with him and told him to tone that down and to shut up about it. But he's made interviews before where he's talked about the differences in the way certain fighters are treated under that umbrella. and how certain guys are getting pushed and other guys aren't getting pushed. He's talked about all this. And I think as time goes on and he sees these other guys progress, he sees where, let's say, a Benavidez gets to, or maybe a Plant gets to in the next couple of years, where you see where a Tank Davis gets to in the next couple of years as they keep pushing him and other guys as well. I think that's when he'll sit back and say, and then see where he's at, the level that he's at in popularity and the fights that he's not getting, and I think at that point, then he'll start to sit there and say, And these kids are all in the same circles, especially with social media. They all, they see each other at different events. They also see financially where they are as well. And don't forget, he's also good friends with Andre Ward. I mean, that's his manager, promoter, whatever it is that he's signed to him. But then it means you also got somebody like an Andre Berto that's around. You don't think he's going to be sitting around asking Andre Berto questions? He's going to be asking Andre Berto questions because he's there. When you talk about, oh, you're making this and people are laughing at you because they're making substantially more, you're like, yo, that dude's not more popular. That dude ain't on the same level as me. You don't got the same skill. How is he making more money than me? How is he getting all these big events? How is he getting these shows where, 2 million people are watching it and he got these packed out freaking stadiums for this dude? He ain't on my level. I think he's the kind of kid where the same type of thing. I actually believe it. I think he'll go through that same flow. He'll get to a certain level where he's going to be like, yo, that business mind is really going to kick in. He's going to be like, just like Floyd Mayweather, I believe he's going to get into that same mental space where he's going to be like, yo, I got to make moves. And I see him getting out of that situation. Just like Oscar De La Hoya, just like Floyd, just like Mikey Garcia, just like Chavez Jr., just like Ruiz. And the list goes on and on and on and on. Ruiz became more popular, made more progress after he left. Floyd Mayweather, after he left. Oscar De La Hoya, after he left. Mikey Garcia, in a few fights he's had with PBC, probably has made more money in those few fights than all those years he was with Top Rank. Manny Pacquiao, look at Manny Pacquiao. By the end of Manny Pacquiao's career, he wasn't on pay-per-view anymore. He was not doing pay-per-view. They didn't even have him on regular freaking TV anymore. But they definitely he was not doing pay-per-view. He wasn't even fighting the United States anymore. Al Heyman gets a hold of him, gets him back into the States, get those tax issues taken care of, back on pay-per-view, doing 300,000 pay-per-views the first time. The second time, I think it was like 600 plus thousand, something like that. 500 or 600,000. Going up. That's what they do over there. So, yes. You're not right. I don't believe he'll reach the levels of where Floyd Mayweather was or reach the accolades of where he was. But I believe he can get really high up there. But the first thing he was going to have to do is leave Top Rank. Like, subscribe, share. See you on the next one.